Okay, guys. Please respond to the poll which I have shared just now for this question and give me a correct answer. Okay, I'm getting few of the answers as A and B are having actually the same percentage. It's actually very sad that very few of you have attempted this question. Chalo, okay, then let us solve this question right now. Let me end the poll. So I'm getting option B. 52% of you, 51% of you have said option B is the correct answer. And okay, it's increasing now. Okay, it has become 60%. Then yeah, 63%. Good, very good. You can, Vijay Lakshmi, if you're not getting the poll, you can answer. You can give the answer in the chat section. It's not a problem. Chalo, yeah, let me end the poll. Yeah, most of you have got the option B as correct answer. Let me end the poll and let me solve this for you. Okay, it's not very tough question as I have already taught you the concept. See what we have to do. In a damped oscillation, like mass is given to you, K is given to you, small b is given to you. So you have to find the time taken by the oscillator so that mechanical energy of the oscillator drop to 1/2 of the initial value. So what is the formula for mechanical energy? So if I write that initial mechanical energy, then let us say initially the amplitude was A naught. So I'll write half into K into A naught square. Now let us say mechanical energy final. So mechanical energy final will be half into K into A square, right? But since this is a damped oscillation, what is the formula for damped? What is the formula for amplitude for damped oscillation? We know that half into K. A can be written as A naught into e to the power minus bt by 2m, right? But we have to square it because this is what? Square of A. So we have to square this part. So I'm getting final mechanical energy as half into K into A naught square e to the power minus bt by m. Correct? Hai? And the question they have said, they have asked to find the time taken by the oscillator so that the mechanical energy will become half of the initial value. Okay. So mechanical energy final will be equal to half of the mechanical energy initial. Let us put the values. So mechanical energy final half into K into A naught square e to the power minus bt by m is equal to half into half of K into A naught square, right? So this is what the question suggests us. So we are going to write that. We are going to copy that particular thing. So this half K is going to get cancelled. A square will get cancelled. So I'll be getting e to the power minus bt by m is equal to half. So if I take antilog, I'll be getting bt by m is equal to ln 2, correct? So from here I'll get t is equal to m into ln 2 divided by b. Now put the values of m and b. What is the value of m? M is nothing but 250 gram, and what is the value of B? 0.07. So convert that mass into kg. So I'll get 0.25 kg. ln 2 is nothing but 0.69 divided by B is what? 0.07. These many seconds. Now, if I'm going to see the answer, I can easily say that 0.07 and 0.69 can be cancelled, and I can say here 10 will be there approximately, right? Because if I convert that 0.69 and 0.7 can be assumed as same. So I'll be getting the final answer as t is equal to approximately 2.5 seconds. So correct answer would be 2.5 seconds. So this is the correct answer for this question. Okay. Now let me go to the next topic, and that is there are a few other questions also in this topic. We can solve that, and I'll share this. This may stop doing that. I know that. Stop doing that. It doesn't matter. We are seeing those things. Stop just flooding the message. Okay, I'll respond to you. Don't worry. So now let us start a new topic here. That is the last topic for this chapter. Okay, and that is nothing but forced oscillation. Okay, this is nothing but forced oscillation. See, the mathematical analysis or the equations or the solutions are not that important. There are a few things that are important in forced oscillations. You have to take care of that. Okay. If you're actually preparing for JEE Advanced, even in JEE Advanced, these questions have never been asked. In JEE Main, sometimes some objective questions have been asked, theoretical questions have been asked from this topic. See, what is a forced oscillation? To understand this, you can imagine a condition where I hope each one of you has like enjoyed that swing in a park, in a child park, or at your home also, right? So when you are having, let us say you and your friend are enjoying that, like you have gone to a park and you have seen a swing. Okay, so your friend has like is on the swing, and now you are giving a kind of push to him. Now once he's oscillating like this, just consider a situation when it is coming like this, and then when it is going in this direction, you are pushing it. So what will happen initially, if the friend was swinging like this, and if the moment it comes to you, and when it is going in this direction, what you're doing, you are actually giving a push. So what will happen? Now it will go to larger distance. Then again it will come back. Again, when it will come to you, then again you give a push. Then again it will go to the larger distance. So what is actually happening here? So that was a normal oscillation. If you consider the damped oscillation also, if you're not considering the damped oscillation also, what actually happen if you are not giving that push, ultimately what will happen? That ultimately that amplitude is going to become 0. But since when you give a push, okay, that is the extra force, that is the force that you're giving. So when you give a push, what happens actually, instead of decreasing, instead of amplitude to decrease, what happens? Amplitude actually increases. Okay. So if you are, and one more thing, sometimes if you actually match the frequency of that oscillation, like the frequency means what, like in 1 second, how many times you are actually giving that push, okay, how many times you are forcing it. So if frequency of the force applied by you and frequency of the oscillation that is going on for that friend, if they are same, then amplitude actually goes very, very high. Okay, amplitude actually increases at a very great rate, at a very larger rate. One more thing, if damping coefficient, or if damping is very, very less, that means friction is very less and all those things, then you might consider, you might assume that, you might observe that the boy will, or the friend will go to a very high amplitude. So that amplitude will increase drastically. So first thing, when the frequency of force and the frequency of the oscillation, they become equal. Okay, so if the driving frequency is equal to the frequency of the oscillation, we call that condition as a resonance condition. Okay, and secondly, if damping force is, or sorry, if damping is very, very small, and if you somehow matches with match with the if the driving frequency match with the frequency of the oscillation, then amplitude increases at a very, very high rate. A drastic change will be there, a drastic increase in amplitude will occur. Okay, and that is actually very dangerous thing. Sometimes it happens like for a body, if a body is vibrating at its natural frequency, and if you give a force, if you give a push which matches with the natural frequency, the amplitude of the particle will become so large that it might break off. So okay, these are the things that happens in real life, but I'll not go into that detail. Let me give you that a mathematical equation, or what are the important things in this forced oscillation. So if somebody asks you what will be the general formula or general equation for this, I'll say normally for a damped oscillation, it will be like this: minus K into X minus BV, right, should be equal to net force, right? This is how we write the damped oscillation. But instead of having only Kx and BV, now what will happen? Now there will be a force, external force, that will be given. So that will be what? Let us say the force is given to the oscillator as F naught into sine with some other frequency, that is, let's say, omega double dash t. Why double dash t? Because we have considered omega is what? Natural frequency. Omega dash is what? the frequency of the damped oscillation. So omega double dash I have considered the frequency, like the driving frequency, okay, the frequency of force. So this can be assumed as the equation of damped oscillation. Okay. Now when you are going to solve this question, when they are going to solve this equation, how do you solve that? Minus kx minus b into v can be written as dx by dt plus f naught sine omega double dash t is equal to f naught can be written as m into d2x by dt square. Once you write that, you are going to get a, what you are going to get? You are going to get a differential equation. Okay. If somebody asks you to find the value of x as a function of t, so you have to solve that differential equation. The solution for that differential equation comes as f naught divided by a constant g, I'll tell you what is that g, into sine of omega double dash t plus or minus, let's say, minus some value phi. You don't have to worry about what is this phi and all. Like in higher, like in high studies, you know what is the significance of phi here. But yeah, this will have some value. You don't have to worry about that. You just have to worry about what is this g. Okay. So this g normally comes as, the value of g comes as square root of m square. Believe me, you don't have to remember that. Okay. Whatever I'm writing here, that the value of g and all, you don't have to remember that. I'm just giving you a perspective how those things come. Okay. M square omega double dash square minus omega square whole square plus b square omega double dash square. Okay. So this is how, this is the value of g that will come if you are going to solve this equation. It is very complicated because you have not studied differential equation. Even if you have studied differential equation, to solve this equation not have been that easy. Okay. So you don't have to worry about this part. Okay. Karna kya hai? Now here we have to analyze something which is relevant to us, which is related to us. What are those things that are related to us? Now tell me, if I ask you what is the amplitude of the oscillator here. So can I say amplitude will be equal to f naught divided by capital G, right? F naught divided by capital G. Now here, what do we have to analyze it is that what if B is very, very small, or what if G becomes very, very like less? That means I'm telling that G will be minimum. See, if I ask you what will happen to this amplitude if G becomes very less? If G becomes very less, this amplitude will become very, very high, correct? So if G is very less, amplitude will be very high, okay, very large value. So my point is, when this G will have minimum value, so this G will have minimum value when omega double dash will be equal to square root of omega square minus b by 2m whole square. Okay. So when you are going to get this G as minimum, when omega double dash will be equal to b square minus b by omega square minus b by 2m. What is this value? This is nothing but the damping frequency, right? So except this driving force, what will be the frequency? Omega square minus b by 2m whole square, right? So this is what the damping frequency. Now, what if damping is very, very small? If damping is very small, okay, so what will be the omega double dash or driving frequency? This will become approximately equal to omega. Let me erase this. This will be approximately equal to omega or square root of k by m. This is nothing but the natural frequency. Okay, this is nothing but the natural frequency without damping at all. So when G will be minimum, or you can say that when omega double dash is equal to square root of omega square minus b by 2m whole square, this condition is called as a resonance condition. What is this called as? This is called as a resonance condition. If damping is very small, then the resonance frequency will be written as omega or the natural frequency, whatever it is. Okay. So there are two formulas for resonance. When damping is considerable, then this formula. When damping is very, very small, then this formula. Okay. So there is one graph that is very famous for forced oscillation or resonance. That is, if you are going to draw a graph for A versus omega. Omega is what? The driving frequency. What is this omega? the driving frequency, or omega double dash. Okay, so what is omega double dash? Omega double dash is nothing but the driving frequency. Let me write that properly. So omega double dash, that is the driving frequency. Okay, now if you are going to draw the graph for this, I'll say the graph will look like this. Okay, or the graph will look like, sorry थोड़ा गड़बड़ हो रहा है, ये बहुत steep जाएगा, then it will come like this. Okay, so this is how the graph will look. Okay, this is what, when did you get amplitude as very, very high value? When did we get the very large value of amplitude? When there will be very small damping. So this is for small damping. Okay, and this is for large damping. There will be increase in what? Amplitude, but the amplitude will not increase. At what point the amplitude will be maximum? So at this point. Okay, and what is this omega? So this is nothing but omega double dash is nothing but omega. So at when omega double dash will be equal to omega, the amplitude will be maximum. This is what? This is the condition for resonance. These points are what? Amplitude at resonance condition. So if you increase the damping, if you increase the damping coefficient, what will happen? The resonance amplitude will decrease. If you decrease the damping coefficient, what will happen? The amplitude at resonance will increase. It will increase drastically if this is very, very small. Okay. So this is how the graph for A versus omega double dash will look like. This is it for this forced oscillation. Yeah, there's so many things to study here. If you are going to go for mechanical engineering, and if you're going to study theory of machines where vibration will be there, you learn this forced oscillation in greater detail, the types of vibration, what are the effects of this forced oscillation and resonance. There has been so many instances where this resonance has caused havoc, like it has caused a like very dangerous effect on the surrounding also. There is a bridge also, I can't remember the name of that bridge. There is a bridge like who got damaged because of this resonance phenomenon. In turbine, if you when you study about gas turbine or the turbines which are used in hydro electric power plants, they used to revolve at very large speed, so there'll be so much of vibration. Okay, and if the water which is coming at it, or if the vibration, or if the extra force that is being exerted on the uh, uh, like the yeah, you can say veins of the turbines and all, and if the driving frequency matches with the natural frequency of that body, what will happen? The turbines get shattered. So there are so many like instances also that has happened in past where they couldn't control the vibration and the whole setup got collapsed, and it was like it become dysfunctional pura ka pura. There's been so many like the accident that has occurred because of this resonance only. So yeah, if you are going to study engineering and mechanical engineering, if you are lucky enough that you'll be studying mechanical engineering, and if you'll be studying theory of machines, this forced oscillation and resonance you'll be going to study in graded detail. Okay, but for PU1 guys, for you guys, I think this is enough. You don't have to go beyond this. Like there are very few like the very less chance that they'll ask you some questions from this part at all. But yes, if they'll ask you, they will ask you questions from this part or from this part. That's it. They'll never ask you what is the value of capital G or something of that sort. Okay, so please do remember that. This is it. आज का क्लास यहीं तक. Oscillation का काम तमाम हुआ. Now there will be some doubt solving session. Abhinav sir, are you ready? Please be ready with your setup.
हाँ yes रोशन सर, just 2 minutes मैं ये लैपटॉप से लॉगिन कर लेता हूँ. एक
ठीक है चलेगा. तब तक let me solve a numerical for you. Okay, question is, guys, please write this question. This is based on damped oscillation. Okay, question is let omega dash be the angular frequency of a damped oscillator. Okay, what is omega dash? Omega dash is what? the angular frequency of a damped oscillator, and omega B, angular frequency of an identical but undamped oscillator. ठीक है? So omega dash is what? Angular frequency of a damped oscillation. Omega is what? The angular frequency of an identical but undamped oscillation. So the damped oscillator, a damped frequency, omega dash will be equal to omega by 2 if option A, B is equal to m omega, option B is equal to square root 2 m omega, option C, B is equal to square root 3 m omega, and option D, B is equal to square root, और 4 की जगह क्या लिखना है? 2 m omega. So let me launch a poll for you. This is the last question. Okay. No, Sahana. Yesterday only we have discussed that we are going to have a DSS. So Avinav sir will be solving some standard questions from the assignment, and you have to attend that class. Okay. So in 1 or 2 minutes, sir will be taking your class. Okay. Sir will be explaining some of the doubts, some of the numericals from the assignments that he has got, like feedback from the kids that these are the numericals, these are the questions in which most of you have struggled. So he has selected few of those questions and he'll be discussing those questions. So we'll be starting waves. I think tomorrow we don't have class for physics, I think. So whenever the next class will be there, I'll try to start waves there, okay? Chalo. Yes, amplitude is inversely proportional to capital G, बच्चा, correct है. Guys, please solve this. Get me an answer for this. Okay, sir, C पक्का. Okay, चलो कुछ लोग तो हैं जो confident हैं. Good. What is Chaitra? Why are you asking these questions to me? You know better than me actually. You know the schedule better than me. See, as a teacher, I'll just see where is RR. Like in the schedule, they are writing RR, Roshan physics RR. So as a teacher, I'll see where is my physics class. But as a student, when you are going to see the schedule, you'll see all the classes, right? All these physics, chemistry, maths, or physics, chemistry, biology. So you know better than me. So why are you asking me right now? So you can go and check the schedule and you can just verify yourself, okay? Option C. Yeah, in the chat, so I'm getting all the answers is option C. And yeah, ठीक है. But there is a kind of good lead that B is taking there. Okay, now it's decreasing. In chat section, everybody is going for C. In poll, 57% C, 29% B, 4% A, 9% B. Guys, is there somebody who is actually doing blind guess? अक्कड़ बक्कड़ बम्बे वो 80-90 पूरे 100? हाँ, कुछ ऐसा तो नहीं कर रहे हो ना तुम लोग? चलो, in the chat section, I'm getting only C. हाँ, there is one B. Pooja Munyal going for B. Samruddha, no solving, sir. What is this? No solving. अच्छा, you solving. अच्छा. Monisha, ठीक है. Okay, no problem. ठीक है, let me solve this for you. So that कि Avinav sir will join you quickly. ठीक है? करना क्या? बहुत आसान सवाल है. See, what is the angular frequency of damped oscillator? What is the formula for that? So omega dash is nothing but square root of omega naught या omega square minus b by 2m whole square. Guys, I believe you remember this formula, right? So omega dash is nothing but square root of omega square minus b by 2m whole square. Now, what is the question here? They have asked that what will be the value of b? Like, what will the value of if omega dash is nothing but omega by 2? So let us equate that. Omega dash is nothing but square root of omega square minus b by 2m whole square, and this should be equal to what? Omega by 2. So we have to get the value of b. तो कैसे निकालेंगे? तो दोनों तरफ स्क्वायर करेंगे. So square it on both the sides. So we'll be getting omega square minus b square by 4m is equal to omega square by 4. So I'll get b square by 4m is equal to 3 omega square by 4. So this 4 and 4 will get cancelled. I'll be getting here, okay, this will be m square. This will be m square. Sorry. ठीक है. तो क्या मिलेगा? b square will be equal to 3 omega square m square. So b will be equal to square root 3 m omega. So option, कौन सा option सही है बच्चा लोग? Option C. Yeah. Few of you were, like many of you were quite confident about C. And the correct answer for this question is what? Option C. This is the approach for this question. Okay. Chalo, let me hand over to Abhinav sir. Sir, once you are ready, let me know. You can unmute yourself if you are ready.
Yes, Roshan sir. ये I've logged in from laptop also. उसको भी ये post बना दो, तो दिख जाएगा.
ठीक है. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
तो मैं मैं इसमें से
screen. Yeah, I can do that.
Screen share करता हूँ. हाँ.
Yes. So guys, you have to attend this DSS. चलो अच्छे से पढ़ाई करो. मैं भी इधर ही रहता हूँ, देखता हूँ क्या कर रहे हो तुम.
Screen share, I think. Screen share नहीं हुआ क्या रोशन सर? ये
no, I think मेरा ही आ रहा है. ये आप जो देख रहे हो ना, that is being shared. Whatever you are going to display on your phone, I think that will come. So you should start like.
हाँ नहीं, पर ये आप ही का आ रहा है क्योंकि मैंने वीडियो तो अलाउ किया है. एक सेकंड में.
Yeah, now your mobile screen is coming. Yeah, ठीक है. So once you start the video, ना, that will come. मैं दो जगह दिख रहा हूँ. बच्चा लोग देखो, दो टीचर आ गया अभी. हाँ, yes sir. We can see your.
दिखा क्या?
Yeah, we can see that. Yeah. Yes.
हाँ सर, just लैपटॉप को मैं स्पॉटलाइट करता हूँ. एक सेकंड.
Yeah, please do that. लैपटॉप का आप वीडियो स्टार्ट करो. You can do that. Or otherwise I can also do that. I have to see whether you are. Yeah. Yes. So let me spotlight. Yeah, you have been spotlighted. Yeah, मैंने कर दिया. Now you're visible. Yeah, good to go, sir.
Okay. Hello. Good evening, students. नमस्कार. शुभ संध्या. So सबसे पहले ये बताइए. Tell me this. If you are able to see clearly what is there on the screen. There is a notebook जिसमें something is written. So are you able to see it and are you able to hear properly? Right? Yes. If you are able to see properly and hear the voice. Okay, nice, fine. All right. So everyone is able to see. Great. ठीक है. Okay, so fine. So my name is Abhinav. I also teach physics, as you might know. So I teach physics in Belgaum Center, Avanti Belgaum Center, and I am from Rajasthan. If someone is interested, so I'm from Rajasthan, Ajmer district. Okay, okay. So fine. So we'll have the discussion. DPP करेंगे. Vismay बड़ा खुश हो रहा है. तो Vismay 1-2 classes back, Vismay was saying कि Abhinav sir का है. We want to see Abhinav sir. So Abhinav sir चुप क्यों रहे? So we thought कि इसकी इच्छा पूरी करते हैं. And I was getting some messages from some of you कि sir, are you really there? Some people are thinking कि Roshan sir is messaging from some other account. So I'm really here. So yes, वो कोई तुम्हारे साथ prank नहीं कर रहा था. Fine. Okay. All right. So ठीक है. हाँ. ओके ग्रेट. सो हाँ, तो अभी विल डू असाइनमेंट का थोड़ा सा डिस्कशन करेंगे. एंड ओके, सो हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू हैव, हाँ वैष्णवी ग्रेट, बहुत ही बढ़िया है, बहुत ही अच्छी बात है. हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू हैव अटेम्प्टेड द असाइनमेंट? कितने लोगों ने असाइनमेंट किया है? हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू हैव अटेम्प्टेड द असाइनमेंट? यू कैन say yes. Yes पे click करो. If you have attempted the assignment, quickly click on yes. Okay. ठीक है. Okay, so only around 80. Only 1/3 of the class is attempted. क्यों, क्या हो गया बाकी लोगों को? ठीक है, fine. All right. So okay, so quickly we'll have a discussion. थोड़ा questions का discussion करेंगे based on whatever time we have, and listen carefully कि we'll not be able to discuss all the questions and even all your doubts. So so based on the some doubts that the students, some of you had sent, so based on that we have selected some questions and we are going to discuss some questions here. If possible, we can do some questions in the next class, if it is possible. And if you have more doubts, if you have doubts other than what we are discussing here, then okay, voice is not clear, some people are saying. So are you able to hear? Yes or no? If you are not able to hear, yes or no, type yes or no करो वहाँ पे. If you are able to hear, or so actually the voice is coming from the phone, so I'm not sure कि ये वैसे तो it should be good. So some of you are saying कि आवाज आ रही है, some of you are saying कि नहीं आ रही है. Background disturbance, so I'm not sure. Okay, so just let me do one thing. Okay, just wait a minute. Okay, now is there any difference? Okay, now is there any difference? अभी कोई difference है? अभी is there any difference? Yes, still it is cracking. Difference? Yes, still it is cracking. Prajwal, look, earphones I can, earphones I can, but my goodness, my goodness, look, wait, let me try. Okay, now are you able to hear? Now is it better?
Abhinav,
Is it better now?
I think you should mute one of you. You should use one device.
It's echoing.
It's okay.
Okay. Wait, now can you hear? हाँ रुको यार. अभी ठीक है या अभी भी echo आ रहा है?
So it's fine. It's fine.
So actually there are two devices, so that is why ठीक है, I've muted one of them. हाँ ठीक है. So now people are saying it's fine. Okay, बढ़िया. चलो, amazing. चलो भाई आगे बढ़ते हैं. और fine. So just let me see. ठीक है. Okay, ठीक है. All right, huh? So let's quickly discuss some of the questions. If your question is not in there in the questions that we are discussing, so maybe it will be discussed in next class, or if not, then you can message on WhatsApp. I'll share my number after the class, so you can share. You can ask on WhatsApp. Okay, fine. So let's quickly start. So we'll quickly first go over the NEET assignment questions. Let's quickly do that first. ठीक है, NEET assignment से करते हैं. So NEET assignment, the session 1 question 11th. That is question. Do you know the question? I'll just show you the question for 30 seconds and then we'll go over the. Just a second. So quickly see the question here. You will be able to see the question. Question number 11. Question number 11. Padho fatafat. Question number 11. I'll just zoom in. So the question is pretty straightforward question. It says we are given a function that is y equals sine cube omega t. Okay, y equals sine cube omega t function given hai, and the question is ki the motion is what type of motion is this? Periodic hai ki nahi hai? Periodic but not SHM, SHM or SHM hai, so you have to find the time. Okay, fine. So this is the question, and we have to tell ki kaisa hoga iska motion sine cube omega t. All right. So ठीक है. So let's go back. इधर है zoom, ये रहा. हाँ. Okay. Fine. All right. So let's see now. अभी देखो. So y equals sine cube omega t. This is what we are given. ये चीज given है, right? Y equals sine cube omega t. And so now we have to check whether this is SHM or not. So या periodic है कि नहीं है, right? So how will we do this, right? Because it is a sine cube function. Normal sine and cos functions are we know SHM, but ये तो sine cube function है. So how will we get to know? So all right. So we'll use identity, trigonometric identity जो बचपन में पढ़ा होगा, trigonometric identity, that is sine 3 theta equals 3 sine theta minus 4 sine cube theta. Do you know this? ये identity पता है? Yes or no? बताओ फटाफट, yes or no? Have you studied this? ये पढ़ा है? I'm assuming everyone would have studied this. Trigonometry में सब लोगों ने पढ़ा होगा. So okay, so fine. So we'll use this, and अभी so using this, what can we write? Sine cube omega t. Sine cube omega t को क्या लिख सकते हो? इसको इधर लाएंगे. So this becomes 3 sine omega t. Theta is omega t here. So this becomes 3 sine omega t minus sine 3 omega t divided by 4. All right, fine. And now, so y जो अपना function था, this becomes what? क्या बन गया है? 3/4 sine omega t minus 1/4 sine 3 omega t. All right. So अभी will this be SHM or not? Right? ये है. So we have this y is a combination of two functions. अभी दो functions का combination आ रहा है ये. पहला जो function है is 3/4 sine omega t, right? And the other is 1/4 sine 3 omega t, right? So we know both of these individually are SHM, है ना? ये भी SHM है, right? So this is also an SHM with frequency omega, right? And amplitude 3/4 अगर केवल इसको देखें तो, and this is also an SHM with frequency 3 omega, right? So अभी the question is, ये जो total function है इनका combination, right? Y, will that be SHM or not? So what do you think? Will it be SHM or not? If it is SHM, write yes. If you think it is not SHM, write no. क्या होगा? What do you think? This is an SHM, this is an SHM, but they have different frequencies. So if it is SHM, then write yes. If it is not an SHM, then write no. क्या होगा? Okay, so many people think it is yes, SHM है. 70, 83, 85 people think it is an SHM. 8 people think it is not an SHM. Okay, so बहुत ही भारी majority. इसमें just हाँ, इसमें I think you should be able to see. I'll zoom in थोड़ा सा, मैं zoom in कर देता हूँ. So actually this is not an SHM, right? This is periodic function, but this is not an SHM. Why? Because this is a combination of two SHM having different frequencies, and whenever you have a combination of two different frequencies, this cannot be written in the form a sin omega t plus phi. Okay, so अगर तुम इस form में लिख पा रहे हो, if you are able to write in this form, right, anyhow, y equals a sin omega t plus phi, then it will be an SHM. Otherwise it might be periodic, but it is not as an SHM, right? So ये जो है, so superposition of two SHM we discussed in yes, Ankita, all SHM are periodic. That is right. but अभी first we have to check this is SHM or not, right? So ऐसा भी हो सकता है कि periodic हो but SHM ना हो, right? So first we have to check that. ठीक है? So now देखो superposition of SHM we discussed 2 classes back. Superposition of SHM was discussed. So superposition of SHM में if you remember we were discussing कि if you have 2 SHM of like एक है y1 equals a1 sin omega t, दूसरा है y2 equals a2 sin omega t plus phi, then the resultant will be SHM, right? Then the resultant will always also be an SHM in the having the same frequency, right? But the reason यहाँ पे SHM था resultant is because both of them had the same frequency, right? अगर दोनों का same frequency नहीं है, right, then the motion will be periodic but not SHM, right? It will always be periodic. Periodic होगा, right? But SHM नहीं होगा. So you can see what is written नीचे जो लिखा है वो पढ़ सकते हो भाई. That any combination of 2 or more SHM having different frequencies is always periodic but never in SHM. If you want, you can derive this mathematically, but इसको इस form में नहीं लिख पाएंगे. You cannot write this in this form, a sin omega t phi. That is why it will be periodic but not SHM. Periodic obviously है ये, but it is not an SHM. Actually, in fact, any periodic function can be written as a combination of sine and cos functions. कोई भी periodic function जो है दुनिया में उसको लिखा जा सकता है as a combination of sinusoidal functions, sine and cos functions of different frequencies, right? That is called if you have like basically infinite terms here, that is called Fourier series. But यहाँ पे अपने काम की बात ये है कि याद रखना हमेशा if the frequency is same only then it will be SHM, otherwise it will be periodic always but not an SHM. ठीक है? So periodic होगा पर SHM नहीं होगा. ठीक है? Any doubt in this? If you have understood, then click on yes quickly, सब लोग. If you have understood, click on yes. Or is there any doubt here? आगे समझ में? Okay, चलो. Fine, great. फुर्ती दिखाएंगे, आगे बढ़ेंगे. All right. So next question is question number 23. No, Janam, it will not be. Okay, wait, I'm not getting. All right. So all of you, if you are messaging privately, दो account होंगे. अभिनव वैष्णव नाम से दो होंगे. So whichever you are messaging, message on the other one, because laptop I can see the message, not on the phone. So message on the other one. So I don't think I'm getting messages here, even though पता नहीं. Some of you are messaging here, some of you are messaging on the other one. So problem हो रहा है. So नहीं, Janam, it will not be SHM. अगर अलग frequency है तो नहीं होगा. Combination of 2 SHM is same as superposition of 2 SHM. Yes, actually superposition मतलब वही कि you have combine both of them. Both forces are acting at the same time, right? So that is what superposition means. Okay, fine. So quickly we'll move on to the next question. I'll quickly show you the next question. वो मैं दिखाता हूँ फटाफट. That is question number 23. So you can see here quickly question number 23 from the NEET assignment. जल्दी से पढ़ो इसको. Question number 23, you can read it quickly. Question 23. So it says two pendulums have time periods t and 5t by 4, and they start SHM at the same time from the mean position. दोनों mean position से start कर रहे हैं same time पे. What will be the phase difference between them when after the pendulum with time period 5t by 4 has completed one oscillation? So 5t by 4 वाले ने जब one oscillation complete कर लिया है, then what will be the phase difference between them? Okay, that is the question. So let's quickly see ki how will we do this. If any of you has doubts, you can ask after the class also. ऐसा कोई problem नहीं है. because we have limited time here. So let's. Yes, Shrish. हाँ, Shrish सही है. इसी पे you should message because otherwise if you message on phone I will not be able to see. Fine. Okay. So देखते हैं क्वेश्चन कैसे करेंगे. तो देखो, it says we have two different SHM. क्वेश्चन बोल रहा है 2 SHM है, ठीक है. 2 SHM है, एक का टाइम पीरियड है T और एक का टाइम पीरियड है 5T/4. Right? One of them has time period T, one of them has time period 5T/4, and they start from the mean position. दोनों के दोनों same time पे mean position से start कर रहे हैं. Both of them start together and both of them start from the mean position. And time period is different. That means omega is also different. ठीक है? And we have to find the phase difference. ठीक है? So be careful here because अभी तक whatever phase difference you have found, the SHM were having the same omega, yeah, same time period. But here question is asking the phase difference between two SHM having different time periods or different omega. All right, ठीक है. So देखो, so let's quickly write function first of all. तो पहले वाले का function क्या हो जाएगा? x1 is a sin omega, the first SHM, a sin omega t, okay, omega 1t, right? Second one is a sin omega 2t. Amplitude might be same or different, that does not matter, right? But the frequencies are different, omega 1, omega 2, okay. So this is the frequencies. And yes, so the reason I have taken phi 0 for both is because question is saying what? Both of them start from the mean position. Since both of them start from the mean position, right, that is why I have not added a phi here. Okay? So because at t equals 0, both of them start from the mean position means what? That at t equals 0, x should be 0 for both of them. So at t equals 0, x should be 0 for both of them. That is why we are not added phi here, right? Okay, so ye function for first one and this is the function for second. So now what is the phase difference? What is the difference in phase? So phase, as you all know, phase, how do we define phase? Phase is the argument of the sine or cos functions. Sine or cos function ka jo argument hai, that is the phase. All right. So here the phase is omega 1t. Okay. The phase of the first SHM at any time. The phase of the second SHM is omega 2t at any time. Right. Okay. So what is the difference in phase? दोनों के phase में फर्क, difference क्या है? The difference is omega 1 minus omega 1t minus omega 2t. This is the difference, right? So omega 1t minus omega 2t, which is, abhi how can we write omega? Omega को लिख देंगे 2 pi by t. So this becomes 2 pi times 1 by t1 minus 1 by t2 times t. All right. So this is the phase difference between them. All right. So this is the phase difference. Fine. So as we can see here, the phase difference depends on the time. The phase difference is not constant, right? The phase difference depends on the time here, right? जब अपन ने पहले same frequency वाले पढ़े थे, same frequency वाले के लिए depends on the time, but here the phase difference does not depend on the time. It depends on the time. Okay. So now just a second. हाँ, ठीक है. So yes. So now we just have to substitute values. T1 कितना है? T2 कितना है? 5t/4. So just substitute the values. So it comes out to be this is 1 by t minus 4 by 5t. So this is just 1 by 5t. Just substitute करना है, right? So 2 pi by 5t times t. What is this t? This t is the time, right? This is the time period. Capital T is the time period, and small t is what? Small t is the time for which the object is in motion, right? So that is what small t is. It is the time for which the object is in motion. All right. So this is what it is. So now question is asking what? At what time we have to find the phase difference? We have to find the phase difference when the 5t/4, the particle with the time period 5t/4 completes one oscillation. So when the particle with time 5t/4 completes one oscillation, that means t equals 5t/4. Okay. So t equals 5t/4. Again, you just have to substitute here. So t equals 5t/4. Just wait a second. So t equals 5t/4. Just substitute here. So t equals 5t/4 substitute करेंगे. So you get the phase differences at this particular instant is pi by 2, which is 90 degrees. So so now here the phase difference is changing with time. Initially the phase difference was how much? Initially the phase difference was 0 because both of them were starting from mean position. So initially phase difference was 0, but at this time 5t/4 the phase difference becomes 90 degrees or pi by 2. Okay. So this is how you have to calculate when the phase difference when there are different frequencies. Okay, just subtract karo and you just have to substitute the values. Okay, so have you understood this? Click with a yes or no. फटाफट फुर्ती दिखाएंगे. Quick. So okay, great. Yes, Rajnandar, which step you have a doubt? Which step you are unable to understand? Rajnandan. Yes. So Tarun, because that is given in the question. Question में what is given? Ki at what time we have to find the phase difference? Because phase difference is different for different times. Right? Phase difference is changing. Phase difference is not constant here. So at what time we have to find the phase difference? The question was saying that we have to find the phase difference when one of them, when the particle having time period 5t by 4 completes one oscillation. So when the particle having time period 5t by 4 completes one oscillation, so how much time has passed? If particle having time period 5t by 4 has completed one oscillation, that means 5t by 4 time has passed. So t value has to be 5t by 4 क्योंकि एक oscillation किया ना उसने, और एक oscillation after how much time it will do? It will do one oscillation after 5t by 4 seconds. So that is why t we have substituted as 5t by 4. All right. Okay. Fine. So let's move on to the next question quickly. So the next question we have is just a second. So question number 15, you can read quickly. Question number 15. Okay, question number 15. Quickly read it. So it says the time period of a simple pendulum in a stationary train is T. स्टेशनरी ट्रेन सड़क पे नहीं, जो भी है पटरी पे रुकी हुई ट्रेन, उसका टाइम पीरियड इज, उसमें एक सिंपल पेंडुलम है, उसका टाइम पीरियड इज टी. Time period of a mass attached to a spring is also t. There is a mass attached to a spring in the same train, uska time period is also t. Okay, so wait, this question, yes, now you can see Vaishnavi, Vismay, this is the assignment that was given. Okay, so now you can see question 15 quickly. Time period of a simple pendulum in a stationary train is t. The time period of a mass that is attached to a spring, right? Mass that is attached to a spring, and uska time period is also t, right? Now the train is accelerated at the rate 5 meters per second square. Initially it was at rest, and now the train is accelerating at the rate of 5 meters per second square. Okay, so it says the time period changes. Now the time period becomes, for the pendulum it becomes Tp, and for the spring it becomes Ts. So you have to compare, which one is greater, which one is smaller. Tp is equal to Ts, Tp is less than Ts. You have to compare them. All right. Okay. So this is where we have to do, right? Now the train started accelerating. So what will happen? How will be the changes? Okay. So very easy question. बहुत ही आसान. So how many? Anyone here who is who does not understand Hindi? Just anyone who does not understand Hindi? Everyone understands Hindi? Okay, nice, fine. All right, so okay, so how will you do this question? Yes, some of you are saying C. Let's see कि क्या है. Okay. Okay, fine. All right. So, Nidhi, just wait a second. आएगा भी वो. That was. All right. Okay. So the question is this. There you go. So it says we have a train. Okay. This is a train. So train mein we have a pendulum and we also have a spring block system. So this is a spring block system. This is a pendulum. When the train was at rest, initially the train was at rest. So when the train was at rest, the time period of both of them was equal. The time period of both of them was t. So we know time period of a pendulum is how much? 2 pi root L by G. So that is t, and that is also equal to the time period of the spring mass system, that is 2 pi root M by K. So initially they were both t when the train was at rest. Okay, simple. All right. So now what happens is, now the train starts accelerating. Now the train has started accelerating with 5 meters per second square like this. Okay. So now what will happen? Now what will happen to the time period of pendulum and the time period of spring? Okay. So if we talk about the pendulum, right, you would have already studied the time period of pendulum if it is in an accelerating system. So first of all, the motion of both the pendulum and spring will be SHM only in the frame of train. Okay, not in the ground frame. Abhi, when the train has started accelerating, this pendulum ka motion ground के respect में it is not SHM. Okay, so because ground के respect में it is moving आगे, ऐसे आगे भी जा रहा है, ठीक है? तो it is not SHM ना, ground के respect में ऐसे भी oscillate कर रहा है, but ऐसे आगे भी तो भाग रहा है train के साथ, right? तो अगर आगे भाग रहा है, so it is not SHM, right? So it is an SHM only with the in the frame of train. Similarly, the block ka motion is also SHM in the frame of train. So now we are doing the question in the frame of train. Matlab, train is our observer, right? And train is what type of observer? What type of frame is it? Is it an inertial frame or is it a non-inertial frame? Inertial frame hai ya non-inertial frame hai? What type of frame it is? Inertial or non-inertial? Quickly answer. Yes, it is non-inertial frame. So it is non-inertial frame, and if you are observing a motion in non-inertial frame, what do we have to do? We have to add a pseudo force, right? So we have to add a pseudo force which is ma directly directed opposite to the acceleration, right? So that is why we have put an extra force ma here on both the pendulum as well as the block, which is directed opposite to the motion, right? Opposite to the acceleration. All right. Okay. So this we have done. So now how will this change the time period? So if we talk about pendulum, we know time period of pendulum is 2 pi root L by G only if it is in a inertial frame, if it is not accelerating. If it is accelerating, then you have already studied kya hota hai, time period is 2 pi root L by G effective, right? And G effective, everyone knows how to find the effective value of acceleration due to gravity. The effective value of acceleration due to gravity, you have done similar questions when it is accelerating. What is G effective? It is the G vector minus A vector. This is the G effective. G vector is the acceleration due to gravity vector, and A is the acceleration. This is the acceleration vector of the system, whatever system or whatever train we have here. So train ka acceleration hai. All right. So now in this case, G effective will be G vector minus A vector. Can anyone tell what will be the magnitude of this G vector minus A vector? G effective ka magnitude kitna hoga, right? So G vector is like this. G vector on the pendulum is like this, okay? And the A vector, the acceleration vector is like this. So G vector is like this. The acceleration vector is like this. So what is the angle between them? What is the angle between G vector and A vector? What is the angle? Quickly write on chat. What is the angle between G vector and A vector? 90 degree. Everyone is able to see the angle between G vector and A vector is 90 degree. So angle hai 90 degrees. And if the angle is 90 degrees, what will be the resultant? The resultant of G minus A, right? When the angle is 90, will obviously be square root of G square plus A square, right? Okay. So the G effective value is square root of G square plus A square in this case, which is obviously greater than G, because square root of G square plus A square has to be greater than G. So since G effective is greater than G, so this denominator is increasing. If we compare with the initial value 2 pi root L by G, if you compare with the initial value 2 pi root L by G, then क्या हो रहा है? Denominator बढ़ गया है, ठीक है? Denominator बढ़ चुका है. So अगर denominator बढ़ेगा तो time period will decrease. TP is less than T. Okay? So TP is less than T. This is the first thing, right? TP, the time period of pendulum decreases. TP is less than T. Okay. Now let's come to the spring. If we talk about spring, what is the time period of spring? 2 pi root m by k, right? But we already know this concept that the time period of a spring block system only depends on the properties of the system. 2 pi root m by k, so m and k are properties of the system. So it only depends on the properties of the system. It does not depend on any other force, external force, if it is constant. If the force is not constant, if the force is varying, right? जैसा कि पढ़ा अभी, कब? अभी forced oscillation में, right? Forced oscillation में we had an external force which was what? Varying, f naught cos omega dt. So that was not a constant force, that was a varying force. So since it was varying, so that is why the frequency changes. The system does not oscillate with the natural frequency, the system starts oscillating with the driving frequency omega d. इसमें क्या हो गया? तबला क्यों बजा रहा है? ध्यान दे इधर. हाँ, सब लोग ध्यान दो. Some people are who is this? I don't know. पास में किसी के बाल खींच रहा है कोई. This is ध्यान दो यार क्लास में. हाँ, okay, fine. All right. So yes, ठीक है. तो हाँ. So if an external force is applied which is constant, then the time period of the spring mass system does not change, right? This concept you already know. So ये जो pseudo force है, this is also constant force, ma, right? So it is a constant force because the acceleration of train is constant. So since the force is constant, so it will not affect the time period. What if it will affect the mean position? The mean position will change. इसका mean position अभी x equals 0 नहीं रहेगा, right? But the time period will remain unaffected, and the time period will remain t. Okay, the time period remains t. So in this case, ts remains t. So TP is less than ts. Why is there a difference coming? Anyone can tell why is there a difference coming? Why is here the time period changing due to acceleration, and why here it is not changing due to acceleration? The reason is because in pendulum, if you remember the derivation, रट्टा मारा होगा board exam के लिए रट्टा मारा होगा. Yes, that if you remember the derivation of time period of pendulum, mg plays a role. ठीक है, mg का torque आता है. Because of torque of mg, it rotates. So it is rotating because of mg, right? It is mg अगर नहीं होता, so will it rotate? Will it oscillate? ऐसे oscillate करेगा क्या? No. mg is the one which is making it oscillate. So mg का ही torque आ रहा है because the torque of tension about the hinge point is 0. So the reason it oscillates is because of mg, right? So mg plays a role here. So acceleration due to gravity plays a role here, right? But acceleration to gravity does not play a role here. यहाँ पे it is not playing any role. Okay, so यहाँ पे the time period is completely determined by the spring force, right? Because the motion is entirely horizontal and mg is in vertical direction, so it does not play any role here, right? So so if you change g, the time period here will change क्योंकि यहाँ पे वो role play कर रहा है, and the time period here will not change because anyway g does not play a role here. So even if you change g effective, it does not make a difference. Okay, so that is the reason. Okay, so is it clear? Is this question clear? Click on yes and no. Can we move forward? Yes or no? Can we move forward? Quickly click on yes or no. Quickly, only very few people have said. All right, fine. ठीक है. So बहुत ही easy, आसान सवाल, बच्चों वाले सवाल, एकदम बच्चों वाले सवाल, right? So okay, fine. So आगे बढ़ेंगे. So this next question is again, some people have asked this question. This is not from the assignment. It was a separate question. I think some students had doubt in this question. So quickly see the question. फटाफट question पढ़ो. This is the question. So this is the figure given. Figure देख लो बस. and you are asked the time period. Quickly go over the question. So some of the students had a doubt here. Okay, everyone has read the question. So we have two springs here, and two springs are connected like this. There is a pulley. Pulley is ideal, yani ki massless, frictionless. There is a block, jo latka hua hai aisa, and it says the block is displayed slightly from equilibrium position. Then what is the time period? It says match the time period, right? It is asking actually the time period. So time period we have to match. Time period we have to find what it is. ओके फाइन, ये कैसे करेंगे भाई? बहुत ही आसान सवाल, बहुत ही बेसिक बच्चों वाला सवाल, राइट? So I am expecting, assuming many people are from Karnataka here. So what do we call a very small kid in Kannada? Kannada में किसी को पता है? Kannada में बहुत ही कोई छोटा सा बच्चा है इतना सा, उसको क्या बोलते हैं? Very small kid. What do we call in Kannada? Anyone knows? हाँ, yes. So some of you are answering. पप्पू नहीं बोलते यार, पप्पू किसको बोलते हो? No. Okay, so yes, some of you have answered. Some of you have answered correctly. Yes, putti. So putti, they are called very small kid, very small. इतने जो छोटे से होते हैं, इतने से, ठीक है? उनको they are called putti in Kannada, right? So putti level question. Let's do a putti level question, फटाफट. Okay, so yes, so we have to find the time period. As you can see here, time period निकालना है. All right, so this looks very complicated. पप्पू बोलते होंगे यार, I don't know, मुझे कन्नड़ा ज्यादा नहीं आता है, so बोलते होंगे, might be correct. हाँ, पप्पू ही बोलते हैं यार, ठीक है, मान लो. हाँ, fine, yes, good, ठीक है. Okay, so हाँ, okay, very good. सुमुख, very good. सारे नाम बता रहा हूँ, ठीक है. हाँ, okay, so yes, this is the figure, and abhi we have to find the time period. So looks very complicated. बहुत खतरनाक दिख रहा है, इतना खतरनाक. दो स्प्रिंग आ गया, पुली भी आ गया. But straightforward question, right? You just have to apply the concept, all right? But समझ के करना है, all right? Okay, so let's assume this is the original position, ठीक है? This is the initial position that we are given. Let's assume the block moves by a distance x, right? Let's assume that the displacement of block in any time is x, ठीक है? Right? In any time interval, the displacement of blocks को मान लेते हैं x, and the displacement of pulley in the same time from the initial position, let's say that is xp. Okay, so that this is what we are seeing. You can read here what we have written, right? The मान लेते हैं भाई, any time the displacement of block from the initial position is x and that of the pulley is xp, right? So any value in the given time t, the block का displacement है x and the pulley का displacement is xp. All right, so now we have to first find a relation between them, right? कि what will be the relation between x and xp? इसका displacement अगर x है and इसका displacement अगर xp है, so can anyone tell me the relation between x and xp? इसका displacement is x, right? This goes down by a distance x, let's say it reaches here, and the pulley goes down by a displacement xp in any time. This goes down by x and this is going down by xp. So what is the relation between x and xp? Can we relate x and xp? Block कितना नीचे जाएगा, pulley कितना नीचे जाएगा भाई? Relation बताओ फटाफट. So some people are saying xp equals half of x. Okay, तुक्का नहीं मारना है, सोच के बताओ. Chetan is saying x equals to xp. All right. Okay, fine. ठीक है, no one seems to be getting. All right, fine. Anyway, ठीक है. Okay, so let's see how to get this, how to get a relation between them. तुक्का नहीं मारना है. Let's see. Okay. So ध्यान से देखो, if we have assumed that pulley moves down by distance xp, right? Pulley का displacement from the original position is xp. So if pulley moves down by xp, what will be the extension in the upper spring? What will be the extension in the upper spring? xp. बहुत ही आसान है कि ना? because this moves down by xp, so the pulley is directly the spring is directly connected here, the upper spring की बात कर रहे हैं. So upper spring is directly connected to the pulley. Since upper spring is directly connected to the pulley, so if pulley goes down by xp, the spring also extends by xp. ये तो बहुत ही बच्चों वाला है, right? So the extension in the upper spring is also xp, right? The extension in the upper spring is also xp. But what is the extension in the lower spring? This you have to be careful, right? You might make a mistake here. So this you have to be careful while writing. What is the extension in the lower spring, right? So the lower spring extension, be careful. Dekho, this moves down by x, the block moves down by x, and the pulley moves down by xp, right? So it depends on actually both. Look, dekho, tell me this: if block moves down by 1 meter, समझते हैं, if block moves down by 1 meter, forget about the pulley. पुली को भूल जाओ, ठीक है, पुली को भूल जाओ अभी. अगर block 1 meter नीचे गया, block moves down by 1 meter, so what will happen to the length of the spring, the नीचे वाला spring? What will happen to the length of the spring? If block moves down by 1 meter, this is 1 meter, let's say. So what will happen to the length of the spring? Will it increase or will it decrease? Will it increase or will it decrease? If the block moves down by 1 meter, so what will happen to the length of the spring? It will increase by how much? By 1 meter. बहुत ही basic चीज है ना, right? पहली कक्षा में पढ़ाना चाहिए तो. So because this is fixed, this point is fixed of the spring, and this other point is moving down by 1 meter. So if this point is fixed and this point moves down by 1 meter, so the length of the spring also increases by 1 meter, right? So agar block goes down by 1 meter, the length of the spring also increases by 1 meter. Agar pulley ko ignore kare to. If block goes down by 2 meter, what will happen? The length of the spring will increase by 2 meter. है ना? Now if block goes down by x meters, what will happen? The length of the spring will increase by x meters, right? ठीक है. So for every 1 meter, इसका spring का length 1 से बढ़ रहा है. तो अगर ये x से जाएगा नीचे, तो इसका length x से बढ़ जाएगा, right? ठीक है. But this we have ignored अभी पुली का motion. अभी we have ignored पुली का motion. ठीक है. विजय लक्ष्मी सोना नहीं है. सीधे बैठ. हाँ. थोड़ा जोश दिखा यार. जल्दी से थक जाते तुम लोग. हाँ. So ठीक है. Okay. So this due to block का motion, the length of the spring increases by x, right? But what about the pulley? If pulley moves down by 1 meter, quickly tell me, if pulley moves down by 1 meter, what will happen to the length of the spring? If pulley moves down by 1 meter, what will happen to the length of the spring? Will it increase? Will it decrease? And कितने से increase? कितने से decrease? Decrease by how much? Decrease by 2 meters, not by 1 meter. Be careful here. देखो, if the pulley moves down by 1 meter, देखो, so if the pulley moves down by 1 meter, the length of the spring decreases by 2 meter. क्यों? Because ये पूरा ऐसे नीचे आएगा. So 1 meter left side में and 1 meter right side में. Initially the pulley was here. So this is the total spring, है ना? अगर वो 1 meter नीचे आ गया, तो left में भी it decreases and right में भी decreases by 1 meter. Right? Is this thing clear? Right? Are you able to understand this thing? This is important to understand. Right? If the pulley comes down, the spring on the left side of the pulley and the spring on the right side of the pulley both decrease by 1 meter. So the total decrease in length of this spring is 2 meter. Is this thing clear? Right? Quickly tell yes or no. Is this thing clear? If this goes down by 1 meter, then the total length will decrease by 2 meter. हाँ, इसमें हो जाएगा यार, थोड़ा ठंड रख. इतना क्या जल्दी है तेरे को? ठीक है. So yes, हाँ, okay, great. सब लोग फॉर्म में आज. Okay, fine. So the total length will decrease by 2 meters. So now if the pulley goes down by xp, if the pulley goes down by xp, what will happen to the length of the spring? It will decrease by 2xp, not by xp, right? Because for every 1 meter the pulley goes down, the length of this decreases by 2, right? So if the pulley goes down by xp, then the length decrease will be 2xp. All right. So now what is the total extension in the lower spring in this case? What is the total extension? देखो, block की वजह से the length increases by x, है ना, ब्लॉक की वजह से वी ऑलरेडी सॉ अर्लियर द लेंथ इंक्रीज बाय x, द पुली के मोशन की वजह से, पुली के मोशन की वजह से द लेंथ डिक्रीजेस बाय 2xp, है ना, right? So what is the extension in the lower spring? X minus 2xp, right? Because it increases by x इसकी वजह से and it decreases by 2xp इसकी वजह से. So the net change कितना हुआ? X minus 2xp. All right? Okay, fine. ये है. Okay. विजय को बहुत जल्दी है. रुक जाओ यार थोड़ा. Okay, fine. So now, how will we find the relation between x and xp? So now we know this pulley is massless. All right. Since this pulley is massless, so it will be in equilibrium. Anything which is massless will always be in equilibrium, right? Equilibrium matlab net force will be zero, right? Because net force equals ma by Newton's second law. So if m is zero, don't worry, you will get these notes. So no need to copy. Okay. So yes. So if m is zero, whatever is the acceleration, the force will always be zero. So since this pulley is massless, it is always in equilibrium. So now if you draw the FBD of the pulley, what is the free body diagram on the pulley? This spring is applying upward force. How much? K into extension in this spring. What is the extension in this spring? XP. So abhi dekha. Extension in the spring is XP, right? Okay, so this is the upward force. This equals the downward force. What is the downward force? Now the downward force is applied by this spring from both the sides, right? So the downward force equals 2 times. Why have we put here 2? Because वो यहाँ से भी लग रहा है, यहाँ से भी लग रहा है, right? So 2 times the spring force. What is the spring force here? K into extension here. What is the extension here? X minus 2xp. Okay. So now we have applied equilibrium on the pulley, and now what we get? This K cancels, so we get x equals 2.5xp, right? So this is the relation between the two. Now how will we use this to find the time period and the equilibrium position? बहुत ही आसान चीज है, right? So equilibrium position. So first let's quickly find the equilibrium position of the block. So when will the block be in equilibrium? When block का FBD देखो. Now look at the FBD of block. What is the FBD of block? mg downwards and spring force upwards. Which spring force? कौन सा? This one, lower spring force, right? So we'll say mg equals the lower spring force. What is the lower spring force? K times x minus 2xp, right? I'm writing x naught. X naught is the equilibrium पे जो displacement है, right? So x naught minus 2xp naught, right? Okay. So now using this relation, we know at any time x equals 2.5 xp. Since x equals 2.5 xp, what is xp naught? Just substitute xp को substitute कर दो. So xp will just be 2 by 5x, right? As you can see here, x equals 5 by 2 xp. So if x equals 5 by 2 xp, so xp is 2 by 5x. So just substitute here, xp is 2 by 5x. So this becomes 4 by 5x. Okay. So x minus 4 by 5x, right? Fine. So ये आ गया x minus 4 by 5x. इसको substitute किया. So mg equals kx naught by 5, or the equilibrium position of the block is x naught is 5 mg by k. So this can also be asked. ये भी पूछ सकता है कि equilibrium position कितना है. So this is the amount which the block goes down when it is in equilibrium. Okay. So now time period कैसे निकालेंगे? बहुत ही आसान चीज. So now displace it by x from the mean position. Now we found the mean position. So mean position से displace it by an amount x. So if you displace it, let's say downwards by an amount x, right? Block को displace किया by an amount x downward direction में. Then what will be the net force? mg, वो तो वैसा का वैसा रहेगा, minus k times. Now what will be the total spring force, right? X naught was the equilibrium extension, right? Equilibrium पे जो not the extension but block कितना नीचे है, right? And at any point, you can apply this at any point. Spring force जो है, spring force on the block is always kx by 5, right? What is x? Displacement of block, है ना? So this you can see from here, जो यहाँ से है, because this is valid at any instant. So at any instant you can say कि k times x minus 2 xp, xp को you can substitute as 2 by 5x. So at any instant you will get the spring force is kx by 5, where x is the displacement of block from where? From the initial position, not the equilibrium. So abhi, when the block is displaced by x from the mean position, then what is the total net force? Mg minus spring force. What is the spring force on the block? K times the total displacement of the block divided by 5. What is the total displacement of block? X naught, the equilibrium extension, plus the extra, right? X naught तो equilibrium तक ही था, right? Let's say x naught was 5 meters, तो 5 meters तो equilibrium तक ही extended है, right? उसके बाद 1 meter और extend कर रहा है, तो total कितना 6 meter नीचे चला गया ना वो, right? So x naught plus x, where x is what we have from the mean position, right? So x naught plus x by 5. Now the first term will cancel here, as you can see here, mg equals kx naught by 5. So the first term will cancel, mg minus kx naught by 5, right? The first term will cancel and we will be left with minus kx by 5. That is what you are left with, right? So this is the net force, and when you have net force, so now you can find the time period. Time period क्या होता है? 2 pi root m by k, where k is the force constant. So what is the force constant here? Clearly force constant is k by 5, right? So 2 pi root m divided by k by 5. That is the time period. 2 pi root m divided by k by 5. That's it. Okay. So it might look complicated, but if you are clear with the concepts, it's actually nothing complicated, and it might be a little difficult for me to explain here like this. If you have any, like those who are still finding problem here, या कुछ समझ नहीं आया है, so you can ask or call, right? That way I'll be maybe able to explain better rather than this, right? Okay, fine. So time is up. So for now we can discuss only this much, right? The other doubts we'll discuss in the next class possibly, or you can ask on WhatsApp also. So I'll share my WhatsApp number quickly. So if you have Rajnandan, which step? Last second, that means what? Last second, so equilibrium or this one? So this is just, we have written so we have just written the, look, this is just a net force written, net force लिखा है, right? So net force क्या होगा? mg is acting downwards and the spring force is acting upwards. So what will be the spring force? K times the total displacement of block divided by 5, right? As we have seen here, the total displacement of block divided by 5, right? Now the total displacement of block from the initial position, right? So what will be the total displacement of block from the initial position? The mean position तक जो था displacement x naught plus जो extra है, right? X naught plus x by 5. And now this term cancels. The first term cancels because that is our equilibrium condition. So first term cancels and we are left with kx by 5. Okay. All right. So next, and you can also message ki what doubts you want to be discussed in the next class, right? So that will be better. Okay, fine. So Roshan sir, that's it. I think time हो गया अभी तो. Roshan sir, you can stop the recording. I think it's time up.